Welcome to video 3, manner of articulation. In video 2, we talked about place of articulation, which is where in the mouth or vocal tract sounds are made. Manner of articulation is a fancy way of talking about how sounds are made. Manners of articulation include stops, which you might also hear called plosives, fricatives, which you might also hear called continuants, and glides, which we've talked about a little bit, where the tongue and parts of the mouth sort of glide together to form the sound, and liquids. So those are all ways of producing sound, and we can produce them at different parts of the mouth. So stop consonants are called that because they are consonants where the air actually is stopped for a moment, like the sound p, our P sound, p, or our B sound, b. The sound stops as opposed to continuing. Similar stop consonants that are made in, those are both made with the lips, they're labial consonants. So we also have velar consonants made in the back of the mouth, k, g. Those are both stops. We have stop consonants that we make against the alveolar ridge in English, or maybe against the back of the teeth in Spanish or Italian or Arabic, which are t and d, our t sound and our d sound. In Spanish or Arabic or Italian, you might hear th and da. So that's a little bit of variation in how that sound is produced, or where it is produced, rather. It's a stop consonant in all of those languages. Fricative consonants, which you will also hear called continuants, are consonant sounds in which the air continuously flows over the point of constriction, the place of articulation. So we have labiodental, two labiodental consonants, f and v. Those are both fricatives. So f and v, for those of you who do finger spelling, those are our f and our v sounds if we're talking about letters. So those are fricative consonants because the air, you can hear it, they're made with friction, they're fricative. The air keeps going even though there's a point of constriction. So stop consonants stop, p, b, k, g, t, d. Fricative consonants continue. F, v, s, f, v, sh. Do we have any fricative velars in English? I can't think of any, but if you think of some, I'd love to hear about them. We also have nasal consonants, which are not exactly the same thing as fricative, but the air does continue. Our labial sound our M sound, our alveolar or dental sound n, depending on what our language background is, for our N sound, and our back of the mouth sound are all nasal sounds. So they're continuous sounds, but they are not made by passing the air through the point of constriction. They are made by passing the air through the sinuses with the mouth closed in those places. That's why they're considered nasal sounds, because the sound travels up and through the sinuses and then comes out, and that's how the sound is made. Let's see, glide consonants. We talked a little bit about w and y in our first video, and you can feel when you say them the kind of gliding motion that your tongue and lips make. Yeah. When you say that, against the tongue sort of glides along the velum at the back of the mouth. When you say our W sound, you can feel the lips sort of gliding forward as the sound comes out. Let's see, manner of articulation. Oh, liquids are are L sound and R sound, which pattern as consonants in American English phonology, and they may pattern not as consonants in some other languages. So that's a little bit confusing, but that's why it's one of the reasons we distinguish between phonetics and phonology. We can talk about the phonology of the the liquid but then when we talk about the phonology, how it's used, how it patterns in specific languages, it might be different. So that is manner of articulation, how sounds are made, stop consonants, nasals, fricatives, glides, and liquids.